Hello again after 2 weeks. For a while of being here. Mm, Hello. After this, I'm going to feed the seagulls with some breads, with some action. Almost Shabbat Shalom. It's great to be here again after a while of being away from the internet. Oh, look, blue shirt, blue sky. Hello. So almost Shabbat Shalom, and probably know that song. You might know the song of Sheryl Crow. If it makes you happy, right? What makes us happy? Well, I know first for starters, beach and the sun. These are very strong actors, very strong participants in making us feel different, right? So an external source that actually is helping us feel better. But the key is otherwise. So glad you're here. Let's see. All right, so we're great weekend, great time. We're and a couple of days ago ended retrograde, so things are opening up. Things are starting to show their true colors in a good way. And just let me know that you can hear me, okay? Because the mic is a little bit, it's a phone mic, but I'll talk loud, make sure that you can hear me with the wind and everything. So this has been a great week. It's been a lot of things, a lot of changes, a lot of holding back, but then also a lot of releasing towards the end of this week. And the releasing comes from recognizing our own gifts, recognizing our own power, recognizing our own might, our own godly power. And the godly power, the difference between us and the animal kingdom is our speech. So this portion of this week is Parashat Naso, means carry. But when I say carry, it means not carry on, or not to carry, to have to lift something. But you know, when you look at somebody and you say, oh, I like how they carry themselves, right? That's that carry. And this is towards, this is after counting the Israelites, counting the tribes. And God is saying, go carry, like Naso, the heads of the tribes. Why can't you say count? Why can't you say, hold a list of all the people? There is a specific reason to say Naso, carry their heads. And he's talking about the heads. It is to remind us of the greatness that we have, and especially after times like these, where we have retrograde and we have different energetic shifts and different changes in our lives and different things that are happening. We may find ourselves in a place where we start questioning: is it really? Is it really for me? Am I supposed to be here? Is it really good for me? I don't know. It feels good, but then at the same time, it's also scary. So many of these questions can cause the human to doubt themselves, and therefore to get sick physically. I know personally, also personal experience, but I know also personal other people that have healed themselves with the power of their thoughts. Remember, I always talk about the power of intention, the frequencies, the power of our voice, the power of the intention. How do we manifest? And what place do we inhabit within ourselves when we want to manifest? The imagination, everything is a frequency. So there is also, when we have these challenges, many times we can find ourselves in this place of doubting and creating fear, and fear bubbles up, and fear can affect our body, our constitution. Well, somebody's happy. That's good. I'm at this park here in Redondo Beach. They call it the Dolphin Park. because there are some toys that kids can climb on, kids as well. And the power of when we remember the power and the gifts that we'll have the power to heal ourselves. Our mind has the power to heal ourselves. It doesn't matter what is happening. We have the power to heal, just like the power to break down, just like the power to fall down. That's why God is saying in Naso, carry. How do you carry yourself? How do you carry yourself in the world? The Mishnah is talking about three things that if we focus on these things will make us happy. Ready? These three things. On three things the world is standing on. Wait until the end. The Torah, the work, and the good deeds towards somebody else. The Torah, the work, the good deeds towards somebody else. Now, the Torah, not everybody is sitting and studying the Torah and reading the story verse by verse, and that's okay, because the Torah is a concept of how we perceive ourselves and how we can learn from the lessons for ourselves. So deepening into the studies of the Torah, and not necessarily in an orthodox way or some kind of a religious way, it's all up to the individual. It's all up to you. I'm not here to say this is how you should. No, it's everybody in their own way, everybody in their own vibe, right? But just like I'm talking every Friday, the Friday talk, the almost Shabbat Shalom talk that I have every Friday, talking about how can we excel and how can we learn and how can we grow learning from the stories of the Torah. And why do I say the stories of the Torah? Because there are 4 levels to the Torah, and like in life, and 4 levels, 4 quadrants in our brain, right? The pshat, the story, the hinting, the deep studying, and the mystery. And every level has its own understanding and its own teaching. So the Torah, focusing on the spirituality, and when I say spirituality, I mean the spirituality of your soul, the journey of your soul, the journey of each one of our souls, the people that we meet, the experiences that we get to experience, the opportunities that present themselves in order for us to decide whether we want to experience them or not. Hence the free choice. The experience presents itself, we choose whether we want to experience it or to pass it on. Passing it on is also an experience. Not taking advantage of a certain situation or a certain opportunity is also an experience, because we experience it from a place of disconnect. So when we have an opportunity presenting itself to us, we can choose to interact, we can choose to put ourselves in, lasim lev, to put our heart into it, or we can choose to abstain or to ignore, which is also an experience, because we got to experience that experience through the non-experiencing of it, through the separation. Many times these are people through the mind. We decide to separate, but that's still an experience. So, Pshat, Remez, Drash, and Sod. The story level, the hinting level, the deep level, deep study, and the mystery. And so, when we have a position, when we have an experience, we can choose how to experience that. That's part of the studies of the Torah. How do we take what the Torah is teaching in the 4 levels and apply it to our life? Second one is the work. And I'm not talking about the work of going out working physical work. This is not about the physical work. It's talking about the spiritual connotation, the spiritual context of our journey. The work that we take, what we see in the Torah, the knowledge, the wisdom, and the work, how do we apply that into ourselves, into our lives? And the third one is Gemilut Chasadim, which means when the sentence when we say pass it on, when somebody does good things for us, and we say, oh, just pass it on. That passing on, the doing something good for somebody else, is the Gemilut Chasadim. And there are 3 levels. The Torah is between us to ourselves, the relationship between us to ourselves. The avodah, the work, is between us and the place and God. And this is the prayer. How do we manifest? What words do we use? work that we're actually doing, and it could be an understanding of a certain pattern or release of a certain pattern. And the third one is between the person to the other person, me to another person. So there are three things, and that's like the triangle: me and me and God, and me and you. Right? So this is creating this triangle, and it is. And what's the important thing about this? It is not about the specific individuality of each point, but the relational field that we're creating between all of these. Right? So there are the three aspects. Okay, so I'm here. Thank you for Zero Viewer. That's the name of the person here, and I'm putting this because these are so I can read. But so right. The problem with most work is that work is non-ethereal and is never ending. The definite nature of self reflects work, which I think absolutely. Thank you for saying that. It never ends. You know, there is this movie, the Marigold Hotel, right? There is this Indian guy that says, at the end it will be good. If it is not good, it is not the end yet, right? It's kind of similar thing. We always continue to grow. So that's so to touch on a similar point, when somebody says, be authentic, oh, I'm authentic to myself, or you're not authentic, or you are authentic. The authenticity is not completely revealed because we always keep learning. We always keep growing. And when we continue to grow, then we reveal another layer of ourselves. And then we say, oh, today I'm more authentic than I was 5 years ago, which means the authenticity revelation is dynamic. So we keep growing, we keep revealing. And it's not about how much we learn as we grow older and wiser, but it's how much we unlearn, how many filters are we able to remove to uncover what was covered all these years by all these experiences and disappointments and joys and pain and sadness and all these kind of things. So thank you for this comment. Exactly. It is about the journey. Absolutely. It is always about the journey. It is always about the experiences, not the end result. You know, many times you'll ask people with lots of money or lots of it's not exactly that. Okay, I got to this thing, but why? Because there is something missing. If you heard of Viktor Frankl, he was also after Freud and after Adler. He wrote a book, Man's Search for Meaning. I think that's the name of the book. Yeah, Man's Search for Meaning. And that raises and what he says basically, he says that it is the search for meaning that creates the happiness. So if somebody is constantly searching, when there is no meaning, the person is always searching. And when in that state, the materialistic existence tries to, the materialistic itself doesn't try to, we make the association, we make the relationship, we try to satisfy our quest for meaning through materialistic existence. And it's never enough. That's why we can buy a new car today, and we're so excited today and everything, but then next week we're the same place where we were because a car is a car. We're trying to feed our soul with materialistic existence, and the soul eats a different food. It doesn't eat the materialistic. So at first we can fool it with this temporary excitement, but soon enough the soul is going to say, it's not enough. Now I want more, because you can't just give me another $1,000. Now I want $1 million to get more excited. And that is why people who live according to the materialistic existence is never enough for them. It's like the story of Esau and Jacob. When Esau said, "Oh, I have much," Jacob said, "I have everything." It's the difference between I have much to I have everything. So Viktor Frankl wrote his book, The Man's Search for Meaning. And if you think about that, what is the meaning of life? The meaning of life is to search meaning, is to make meaning. We are all the time trying to make meaning of everything. Why we feel like this, why we don't feel like this, how do I get here, how do I manifest, How do I fulfill my destiny? Am I supposed to do this? Am I not supposed to do this? Why did this person do that? Why did this person? And when we shift our attention from ourselves outside onto other people, we start worrying about what other people think. We start worrying about what other people will say. We start worrying about, oh, do I look okay? Do I not look okay? Who are we trying to prove to? And in this portion, God is saying, you don't need to prove anything to anybody. Nothing. That is why he says, carry the heads of this tribe. Reminds them how they carry themselves. Remind you, us, how do we carry ourselves? Do we carry ourselves through intimidation? Do we carry ourselves through what others will say? Or do we carry ourselves remembering the gifts and the power and the joy that we have already built into the system? That is why we are uncovering things to remind us of what we've already forgotten and to continue to amplify that. And so it's really, so this Viktor Frankl was saying that the power of the mind, and this is not new, but it's coming to as an example, the power of the mind can heal us and can destroy us. King Solomon says, the life and death at the tongue's mercy. What we say, the power of our words. This is what I work with people on, manifesting the life you want to manifest by understanding your spiritual journey so you can manifest your physical one. And working through frequencies and sound, because everything is a frequency. Whatever we're speaking, how we carry ourselves is a frequency. How we think about ourselves is a frequency. Thoughts are frequencies. How do we carry ourselves? I want to read more comments here. Yes. That's right. Thank you for talking about, like in Citizens Care, when the struggle is there, when the actual work, the struggle, we can look at it as a struggle. Struggle is like kind of like a Jewish way of looking at it and saying, oh, I suffer, thus I exist. But we really don't have to suffer. But the challenges and the actual work and getting up and standing and being in a deadline and have to produce and have to do this and it keeps our juices going. It's like walking versus sitting all the time. Keeps us moving, keeps our body, all the parts are moving, everything, the mind, the head. I have to do this, I have to remember to bring this, I have to make this phone call, I have to take care of this. All these kind of things that keep us jiving. And when we're comfortable in our comfort level, it is, oh, I don't have to get up, I don't have to do this, I don't have to do that. And then we start dwindling, then suddenly projects are not being done, suddenly things are not getting, suddenly we start feeling, because we start feeling too comfortable, we start feeling that thing in us, and then our head goes into overdrive, and then we start to question ourselves. And so it's always to keep busy. So it's how do we carry ourselves? How do we bring ourselves into creation? Take the gym, for example, right? What do we do at the gym? We're actually working the muscle to break the muscle so it can rebuild itself. It's the resistance. The resistance is actually building, right? So how do we carry ourselves? How do we carry ourselves in all aspects? And if we look at what will make us happy, think about that. The work with us, the studies, the teachings that we get from the Torah, or from anything that gives you something that will elevate your soul. I'm talking specifically about the Torah from personal experience and from thousands of years tradition and experience. And that I've been probably back and forth a few times, just like many of us. The relationship, the prayer, the avodah, the spiritual work is the prayer, predominantly. And the prayer is creating frequencies, it's creating vibration through our words. And the third person, the kindness, the taking, the doing things for other people. When you do something for somebody, how do you feel? You feel good. It's this good feeling of, I did something for somebody. And this is how we're built. We're built to feel good when we do good. So it's like It's like a recharge. It's like a sustainable battery that recharges itself every time we do good. We do good, we feel good. We do good. Can you imagine if everybody would fall into that place of let's do good so they feel good and we feel good. And that brings us to a place of joy, place of happiness. The fields that we're creating, and then you're attracting the people that fit the energy that you emit. Simple as that. Think of yourself as a TV set. You have 20 channels. Today you're broadcasting sports. Who's going to come? Those who are sports people. Tomorrow you're going to broadcast comedy. Who are going to come? You're going to have people who want to see comedy. The next day you're broadcasting in Spanish. Who's going to come? People who understand Spanish and want to see this programming. So we are just like that. Whatever energy we emit, we attract. What we emit, we attract. What place within ourselves do we inhabit in every moment of the day, in every day of the week, and in every week of the year? And now that retrograde is away, it's time to create and to manifest. So you can reach me if you have any questions. Please write. Thank you for the comments. Zero viewer. Well, you're no zero, that's for sure. So, what place do you inhabit? How do you carry yourself? Carry yourself. Have a wonderful weekend, a wonderful Shabbat. Rejuvenate. And now I am going to give breads to the seagulls. Make them happy. And me too, because I like giving bread away. It's like Shabbat Shalom. See you soon.